We've got the brand new Mitsubishi Outlander plug-in hybrid.
You have a lot of questions about this. We'll get to that and more. Let's go for a spin. All right, we're off.
How quiet that is.
In the Outlander PHEV. This is an all-new model. It's the second generation. What's under the hood of this thing?
A 2.4-liter Atkinson Cycle gas engine with a twin-motor PHEV system with a combined 248 horsepower and 332 pound-feet of torque. It has standard super all-wheel control.
The battery is 20 kilowatt hours and it gets 61 kilometers or 38 miles of EV range and has a full range of 687 kilometers or 420 miles combined gas and electric.
The twin-motor all-wheel drive powertrain consists of a gasoline engine and front electric motor driving the front wheels and a standalone rear-mounted motor driving the rear axle.
So in just a moment, we'll explain how all of that works and how this vehicle is quite different than all of its competitors. But right now, we're going to get into the key standard features.
The base trim comes with an 8-inch touchscreen, wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, a 12.3-inch digital driver display, a 6-speaker audio system, 7-passenger seating, cloth upholstery, a manual driver and passenger seat, a heat pump, a 1500-watt power supply, and a tire repair kit.
Wow, you got all these modes here, a big dial button. What are we going to put it in?
Got to put it in S for subscribe. And if you can hit that notification bell, you'll be notified when all of our reviews drop, and then you can watch them.
And we do this, the Couple Car Review, twice a week. The first one drops on Wednesday.
We put another one out on Saturday.
So make sure you like and subscribe. The most important thing is to hit the notification bell, but also follow on Instagram. It's Motormouth_Andrea to see what's going on behind the scenes. For me, it's Motormouth_Auto, and the links are below the like button. This video is brought to you by Canada Drives. Shop online for your next used vehicle and enjoy the convenience of to-your-door delivery and the confidence of a 7-day love-it-or-return-it guarantee. Visit canadadrives.ca to learn more. So you have to get your head around what this is and how it's kind of different. So Andrea mentioned you have the gas engine at the front and a front electric motor and another one at the back. This is different because they have a large electric motor at the back that really provides a lot of power. Some brands have just one electric motor like Hyundai and Kia. Now, when you're driving along at a speed we're doing now, which is around 50 kilometers an hour, 30 miles an hour, and you put your foot into it and the gas engine comes on, it's not actually driving the wheels. It's generating electricity to provide more power for the battery and the electric system. So even at low speeds when the gas engine comes on, it's got nothing to do with driving the wheels.
No, and what's impressive about this is it feels like you're driving a pure EV. It's really impressive that Mitsubishi has mastered this.
Okay, then you have, when you get to higher speeds, well, a gasoline engine is efficient at higher speeds. So what happens is a clutch engages and then the gasoline engine is now powering the front wheels. So that's when you're cruising on the highway. But even then, at certain speeds, it will decouple the gasoline engine. You can sail along. What is it? Speeds up to 130
kilometers.
Yeah, 130 kilometers an hour, just pure on EV range.
And then you add in the standard super all-wheel control system. Mitsubishi has been working on this technology since 1987, and it is a great all-wheel drive system. This has got different terrain management modes from snow, mud, gravel, and tarmac. And then you get into the whole EV management system where you have normal mode, which is basically hybrid. You can save your EV charge for later. You can charge the vehicle while you are using the gas engine, and then of course you can drive it in pure electric EV mode.
My favorite is when you put it into power, okay? So same thing again, even when you kick it at low speed, remember that engine is not creating direct drive, it's just pure battery, but it creates more electricity with the gasoline engine on, and that, my friend, is a game changer again for Mitsubishi, because remember I mentioned it has that big electric motor at the back? When you put it in power, it acts more like a rear-wheel drive vehicle. I love it.
And I think the best time to use that would be on the highway when you're accelerating quickly, when you're trying to pass. I used it when I was taking some pretty sharp corners, and I really didn't need the power. I mean, it really felt like it was almost too much.
I used it all the time, Andrea. If I owned this, I'd have it stuck in power.
This handles really well. The steering is pretty light, so it's easy to maneuver. And the cabin is very quiet. In fact, Mitsubishi with this model really worked hard on noise, vibration, and harshness, and also just to make the ride a little bit more comfortable than the outgoing model.
It feels upscale. That's one way to describe it, because when you add electrification, you take some things and make it better. Like it's smoother, it's quieter, the acceleration is more linear. So those all build on the fact it's quieter to make it feel more upscale. I think that's the best way to describe it, especially on this top trim when you're driving this. This is pretty nice.
This looks a lot like the new gas model that came out. This is now a 7-passenger SUV. The previous PHEV was 5 passengers. And I think it looks good. I mean, it certainly has a unique look to it. It has a bold presence on the road with the dynamic shield grille.
Yeah, the thing is that they wanted it to look like it was more substantial, and it's 60 millimeters wider. Okay, that's quite a bit, and it has the big grille. It's a bit polarizing. We hear from people they love it, they think it looks cool, futuristic, and certainly definitely looks imposing. And then there's others that just say it's not for me at all. I have warmed to it. I think it was actually a good looking vehicle.
This comes standard with LED headlights. It's got body colored side mirrors and door handles. You've got some chrome accents, standard 18-inch wheels, but available 20-inch wheels. We're riding on 20-inch wheels on this top trim.
The only way to know that this is the PHEV is the badging on it. Other than that, it looks just like the regular gas model. This
gets 7.3 inches of ground clearance, so that's nice for deeper snow, but also easy to get in and out of the vehicle. This comes with some great standard driver assist technology, from blind spot monitoring and rear cross traffic alert, forward collision warning, lane keep assist, rear parking sensors, and adaptive cruise control.
And just like the outside, you wouldn't really know this is a PHEV except for there's 2 buttons here in the center console. One is EV, that's where you can manage, say, save or pure EV, and next to that is the 1-pedal driving. We're going to talk about that coming up in Questions, Coffee, and Cars. This interior is a winner. It's won awards, and I think it's one of the highlights of the vehicle overall.
I like the seating position in here. You sit up and over the dash. The visibility is really good, as is the comfort level. This top trim has got massaging seats now. It's a light massage feature, but even the passenger gets it.
Passenger, even on this top trim, gets memory seats. Come on, height adjustment. This is stuff you typically get in premium vehicles. But the interior is very well designed. It's nicely laid out, and you notice that extra width we talked about, 60 millimeters wider. You feel that on the inside.
The center console is really well organized. Everything is at your fingertips, from the traditional shifter to all of the buttons and knobs, your heated steering wheel, and your heated front seats.
They told us that they wanted it to be like the regular gasoline model, because this, for many people, will be their first foray into electrification, and they want it to be familiar. But I like the fact that they left it very close to the gasoline model. I said it was a game changer, and it has brought in a bunch of different buyers to the Mitsubishi brand that maybe wouldn't have considered it before.
Yeah, the little details like the quilted stitching on the doors, and even the vinyl wrap dash, and on some of the lower trims, it doesn't go to hard plastic. There is also a material that's used. I highly recommend in Canada going up one from the base model. It opens you up to many more features. You get an ultra suede interior. It's faux suede, and you get the larger 9-inch touchscreen with wireless Apple CarPlay, wired Android Auto. Navigation is also included in that trim: a panoramic sunroof, power driver's seat, heated steering wheel, power tailgate, and then the power folding exterior mirrors and a multi-view camera. Going up one more trim to the SEL gets you the larger 20-inch wheels, heated rear seats, a power passenger seat, driver's seat memory, and quilted leather appointed seats. The top GT model gets a wireless charger, the Bose sound system, a head-up display, and then the hands-free power tailgate. And our test model has the massage seats and, of course, the semi-aniline seats.
In the United States, the model we suggest is moving up to the SE trim. You get the bigger wheels, leatherette, power driver's seat, heated front seats, and the larger 9-inch touchscreen. Plus, you get a wireless charger and a power tailgate. You want the panoramic roof, you got to go to the SE Tech trim. It also adds the Bose sound system. If you go to the higher trims above that, it's similar to what we get here in Canada. You get features like leather seats, power passenger seat, and a heated steering wheel. All right, here's me getting into the second row. The nice thing about the second row is the outboard seats closest to the window are also heated, and you get 3 levels of heating. The seats slide fore and aft. They also recline, and they need to slide fore and aft in order to make room to get into the third row.
Well, this is quite a unique vehicle because it is a 7-passenger, so there really isn't a lot of competition. But comparing it to something like the Sorento, it offers about the same front row legroom, second and third row legroom, as well as overall cargo capacity and space behind the third row goes to the Sorento. It is just generally bigger. But if you compare it to a 5-passenger like the RAV4 Prime, for example, it actually has more front and second row legroom, but overall cargo capacity and space behind the second row goes to the RAV4.
Third row seats. This is just for kids, little kids, to take them for short trips. An extra kid to soccer practice or to ballet or football or whatever. It's not the mother-in-law seat. You don't want to put your mother-in-law back there.
Definitely not. She wouldn't be able to fit in there.
But the good news is it's back for PHEV.
Yeah.
They actually, because the vehicle is bigger than the previous model, were able to fit 2 things, the third row of seats and a larger rear electric motor, so it's a win-win. So you have questions about the one-pedal driving and more. Let's get into it.
Time now for questions, coffee, and cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
One of the features Outlander has while charging or still connected to the charging port is the owner can precondition the cabin. The question is, would the vehicle use for that purpose power from the grid or internal battery engine? From the grid.
So we should probably explain what happens. You have an app on your phone and you can set a timer that say you leave the house every morning at 7:30. You can precondition the car to be warm or cold depending on the time of year. So when you get in, it's perfect, 72 Fahrenheit, 20 degrees Celsius, and away you go. That's getting power from what, Andrea?
It's getting it from the grid. So the other thing is that's great about this is that you are not affecting any of the battery. So you can leave with a full battery. EV range is right up to where you want it.
Your seat heater's on or the air conditioning's on. It's good stuff.
It will be awesome if you can post real world numbers on EV range and also fuel economy on hybrid mode only.
Well, this is tricky because this is a one-day test drive for us. Usually we have the car for a week. We're at the launch here in Canada, so we're not getting it for a long period of time, but we do have some kind of basic information for you.
In hybrid mode, we're actually getting some pretty good range, 6.6 liters per 100 kilometers, which is 35 miles per gallon. I mean, I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, the interesting thing is these cars all have to be what are called miled up. So we don't just get in them with 0 on the odometer. They put miles on them to make sure they're running properly.
Yeah.
So one of the people that was doing all of the miling out or miling up was getting around 6.2 liters per 100 kilometers.
Yes.
And that works out to about 5 miles per gallon.
Yeah.
And from the dealership, somebody's been driving one of these regularly back and forth, and he's getting anywhere from 6 to 8 liters.
But it all depends on the temperature. It is cold here today. It's 0 degrees Celsius, so right at freezing. I mean, we've got the heat on, we have the heat warmers on the seats on, so that will make a difference whether you're doing highway driving, city, combined. It's really tough.
Yeah, you can't just generalize and say this is the fuel economy you're getting, because it depends if you live in a hilly area, a not hilly area, flat, you drive fast, you drive slow. Listen, those are the official numbers. Results may vary.
Yeah.
That's what you have to keep in mind. You're averaging down your fuel costs over the lifespan of the vehicle. Always just keep that in mind.
We put out a lot of content each week on the Motormouth YouTube channel, and it's super easy to find.
All you do is go to the YouTube search bar and type in Motormouth, the name of the channel, then the brand you're looking for. In this case, it's Mitsubishi, and all our videos pop up. It's that easy.
Please review the one pedal driving and also the charge mode. Well, first off, I want to say that the way that Mitsubishi has set this up with the different drive modes that are available, it is just so intuitive to use that you can figure out the best way to get the best fuel economy on different road conditions that you're dealing with.
So one pedal driving isn't new. It's mostly kept for exclusively for pure EVs. This is the first PHEV that offers this. So it's a button here next to the EV button, and when you press that, when you lift off the throttle, the brake automatically starts to apply. So you can modulate accelerating and decelerating with just one pedal. However, it will not bring you to a full stop.
No.
But it's similar to whatever you get in other brands with one pedal driving that are pure EVs.
Mitsubishi also recommends, if you're dealing with snowy conditions, that use that one pedal drive, because some people don't know how much braking to do, and that this will just do the work for you. There's also the paddle shifters for regen braking, and there's 6 different levels, including 0. And Mitsubishi recommends that if you're going up or down hills, that would be a good option instead of the one pedal drive.
And now it's time for our hot topic. What's this one, Andrea?
What did you like the most about the Outlander compared to other PHEVs like the Tucson, Sportage, and RAV4? Also, do you recommend Outlander as a reliable car given their good powertrain warranty?
So I think some of the differentiators with the Korean twins, the Tucson and the Sportage or Sportage PHEVs, they don't have a heat pump. This does. This has an electric motor at the back. They do not. They have one electric motor at the front, and it's connected mechanically to the rear wheels. So those are some differences, and this just feels much more performance oriented.
It does. It just feels faster. It has more power. It feels smoother. The gas engine just doesn't come on as much as in the Korean vehicles.
Of all of the PHEVs that I've driven, non-luxury brands, this one clearly, in my opinion, is the driver's choice. That power button I talked about earlier with that rear bias electric motor giving you that instant torque, this feels excellent. They did a very good job. The original Outlander that came out about a year and a half ago, game changer. This changes the game again.
In range, this does really well, 61 kilometers, 38 miles, but it doesn't beat the leader. 68 kilometers, 42 miles for the RAV4 Prime. I think the RAV4 Prime would be the closest to this. The RAV4, the gas engine doesn't come on as often. You can drive it in that pure EV mode that people really like. And then the Koreans, they just don't have as much range as this, 50 to 53 kilometers, depending on which vehicle you choose.
So you want to know what is the official range. You want to know the towing capacity, charging, and all that in our vital stats.
Let's start with pricing. In Canada, the base trim is just over $46,500, and the top GT Premium is just over $57,000. In the US, the base trim starts at just under $40,000, and the top 40th Anniversary Edition is just under $50,000.
Here's the official fuel economy. The Outlander PHEV is rated at 3.6 liters equivalent per 100 kilometers. That's 64 miles per gallon equivalent. When the battery's depleted, the official range is 9 liters per 100 kilometers combined. That's 26 miles per gallon combined.
The Outlander comes with a 3.3 kilowatt hour onboard charger. With a level 1 charger, it will charge from 0 to 100% in 16 hours. With a level 2 charger, 6.5 hours. And with a DC fast charger, it takes 38 minutes to charge up to 80%. The new Outlander PHEV is the only non-luxury plug-in hybrid to offer fast charging.
This plug-in hybrid qualifies for the Canadian federal EV rebate of $5,000 plus any participating provinces. The Outlander no longer qualifies for a tax credit in the United States.
The Outlander PHEV can tow 1,500 pounds, and Mitsubishi offers a warranty of 5 years or 100,000 kilometers, 60,000 miles.
Well, this was the originator. This was the very first plug-in SUV that we had in North America. There's more options now. Let's see what else you can buy.
For your consideration, 4 vehicles for you to consider.
Up first is the Kia Sorento plug-in hybrid. It is a 1.6-liter turbocharged four-cylinder with an electric motor, a combined 261 horsepower, and 51 kilometers, 32 miles of EV range. It has a starting price just under $46,000.
The Toyota RAV4 Prime with a 2.5-liter four-cylinder engine, 3 electric motors, a combined 302 horsepower, 68 kilometers or 42 miles of EV range. The starting price is just over $49,000.
The Hyundai Tucson PHEV with a 1.6-liter turbocharged four-cylinder and electric motor, a combined 261 horsepower, and 53 kilometers, 33 miles of EV range. It has a starting price just over $47,000.
Here's our used car alternative from CanadaDrives.ca. We chose a 2020 Mitsubishi Outlander plug-in hybrid with just 21,000 kilometers on the clock for $44,990. Click on the tab or the link in the description below to find more vehicles in this category from CanadaDrives.ca.
So, there are 4 plug-in hybrid SUVs for you to consider.
Lightning round. 2 things we like to see improved.
Love how smooth and quiet this is.
This is my favorite plug-in hybrid, period.
I'd love to see ventilated front seats. That's one feature this Outlander plug-in hybrid doesn't get.
The heat pump can be a little noisy. It's surprising.
Mitsubishi, you nailed it. A plug-in hybrid that feels more like a pure EV.
If you're looking for a PHEV that actually is fun to drive, start here.
This video is brought to you by Canada Drives. Shop online for your next used vehicle and enjoy the convenience of to-your-door delivery and the confidence of a 7-day love it or return it guarantee. Visit CanadaDrives.ca to learn more.